And we continue this afternoon on Central Valley Talk. I shouldn't be laughing because it's a serious subject, but Adam Rodriguez is my next guest. He's a local attorney with Nuttall and Coleman. And we were talking during the break about how you guys, a lot of the big attorney offices in town have moved to North Fresno. You stayed downtown right by the jail, which I think was a smart move.
Well, it's convenient, walking distance for number one, but we're in the hub of where it's all at. The civil courthouse, the criminal courthouse, the federal courthouse, the appeals court, all down there.
You can walk to them all.
Yep. Get some exercise, so it's good.
Now, your office specifically deals with criminal defense and personal injury. Do you do both, or?
I only do criminal defense.
Okay.
Mark Coleman does both, and he's a really good personal injury attorney.
Okay. When is Rodriguez going to be added to the Nuttall and Coleman?
You should probably ask Nuttall and Coleman that question.
Have you asked them that question?
We're working on it. We're working on it. It's a long road.
How long have you been with them?
I've been attorney for 6 years. I've been with Roger and Mark for about a year and a half.
Okay. How big is the office down there?
In terms of, I think we have 4 attorneys, 1 research attorney making 5, and then a contract attorney for 6, and then we have a big staff: investigation, interpreters, paralegals, and then Roger has the driver. So,
I think there's probably maybe half a dozen attorneys in town that are really well known. One of those is Roger Nuttall.
Absolutely. Growing up as a kid in this community, I knew him. I didn't know, I know of his name, and so working there is just a great honor for me.
So did you want to work for that office?
Of course. I think everybody wants to work for Roger Nuttall and Mark Coleman. So I was in Madera, and they kind of found me there, saw me working, and it was a slow process, but I eventually got hired on with Roger. It's great.
I asked you if you have any big cases you're working on right now, and you said, yeah. I know you can't talk about them specifically, but what are the cases you love to dig your teeth into?
Well, you said big cases that have a lot of moving parts, cases that mean a lot to the clients, not necessarily ones that involve a lot of exposure, like life in prison. Those are big cases. But when they're big to the client, that's important to me. But I know I like the stuff that most people don't like. The gritty stuff of the criminal defense. For some reason, I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, I can handle it and go home and put it in another compartment and be with my family. So I'm able to do that. So that's kind of where I'm finding my niche.
Yeah. When you watch the crime shows or the court drama shows on TV, it's all wrapped up in an hour.
It takes us an hour and a half, right? A little bit longer.
No, the reality is it can take months, years sometimes, and you better be pretty damn patient.
Absolutely. I tell my clients it could take weeks, but if it takes a year to get the result we want, well, it takes a year. We're not in a rush to get you where you don't want to be. We want to get the case resolved in the way the client's satisfied, and it could take us a long time. But like I say, we're not in a rush to get them to go where they don't want to go.
Yeah. So who in your office does the personal injury?
Mark Coleman does the personal injury.
He does it. Okay.
Yeah.
You never had any interest in getting?
I've done a couple of those on my own before I became attorney with Chumo Associates. I was at before. I did a couple of personal injuries by myself. I liked it. It's just the criminal part for me is what I enjoy. The Fourth Amendment, the constitutional, going to court. That's fun.
Yeah. You must love watching what's going on with the presidential election right now. All the amendment stuff that's being tossed around.
It kind of tickles me a little bit. I like him talking about it because it is important. We lose focus on that we're all here for that document and to preserve it. And some people have their different takes of how that should work. And me, I like you to follow that document the best we can. And that's what works for our country. So I do like them talking about it. It brings it up in the air, and here we are now talking about it again.
Here we are, yeah. You have a new website you're going to have.
We do.
In the next few weeks?
We do. We have a website now. It's the same domain name, nuttallcoleman.com, but we're revamping it. It's been several months for this to occur. I have a great company working on it, so I think it's going to be a beautiful site.
Yeah. I know this isn't your field of expertise, but I have to talk to you about this for a minute. The big Powerball jackpot this week.
Yep.
Everybody says if you win that thing, the first thing you should do is hire an attorney. Is that good advice?
It is if you hire our office. Yeah.
Actually, what kind of attorney specializes in lottery?
I think I don't think any attorney specializes in lottery, but there's so many things that are going to come after to a person that wins: business propositions, tax implications, all these trust accounts. I think attorney is a good way to start. someone to at least maybe a shield from your friends and family trying to get your money.
Right.
That's what's going to happen. So I think it is important probably in that situation. You have plenty of money for the attorney. So
you'd be glad to represent me if I win?
yeah, I think I could do that.
I think I could do that.
We'll see.
There must be. I mean, what kind of an office would you? There must be attorneys that deal with financial matters.
Yeah, and those are the ones I think that you're talking about on the other side of town. Because they're not going to court very often, so they have the businesses on the north side. Yeah, those are those firms.
Okay. Have you bought your ticket yet?
No, I'm thinking about it after the show. But if I win, me and my wife talked about it. We're just going to get a divorce right away and save it. Not it's going to destroy life. That's why I don't want to win. I want to win about $100,000, make my life a little more comfortable.
Well, this is $1.5 billion.
It's too much.
You can't even fathom that, can you? It is too much.
It is too much.
Insane. Anyway, Adam, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for coming in
Appreciate
today.
it.
Anything
Pleasure.
else you want to say before we go?
You can find us at nuttallandcoleman.com or my website, Fresno Legal Defense, 233-2900 is our number. Free consultations. If it's a personal injury case and we accept that case, we don't get paid unless you do. So it's a good incentive for people to come on down.
Okay. You'll have to have some of your colleagues come down and tell them to be on the show with us.
They will.
We'd love it. All right. Adam Rodriguez from Nuttall and Coleman right here on Central Valley Talk.